And we are live. Sorry, we had a quick technical difficulty. Apparently, I was muted. That was my technical difficulty. And when Matt joined, he's like, I can't hear you. And then I was like, oh, crap. So, anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome. Episode 207, March 19th. I almost forgot to update the date because I just added that last week on the image. So, luckily, I remembered it just before I created the video. Apparently, I'm now live on my channel. Thank you, watch. And we're live. I am monitoring my bandwidth as I'm broadcasting to see how it's going because I'm now hooked up to the internet via a landline, like a cable, literally landline because it's running across my lawn. And more on that to follow. But it was putting out 10 or less megs at times. It would go up to 200, but it's putting out about 10 megs, 5 to 10 megs on average when I was doing speed tests. So part of this is I've got like the Wi-Fi monitor or the task manager Wi-Fi thing running beside it to see how much data we're taking in. And it's interesting, we're only using about 1.2 to 2.5 megs a second. So which is a lot, but considering, I guess it's not that bad. So how are you, Matt?
It's been interesting.
Lightly concussed? Are you still lightly concussed? Did you fall again?
No, I did not. That's just left over from Monday. But I was supposed to go this morning to get a CT scan. So on Friday, I fell and hit my head playing hockey. The first time I've ever blacked out in my life. I don't remember a couple of minutes, but my doctor said that's a concussion. So I went in. I had a previously scheduled, just a regular checkup schedule with my doctor on Tuesday. And so that was kind of convenient that it was right after. And he's like, I want you to get a brain scan just to make sure there's no like slow bleed, anything bad going on. So he scheduled it for 8 a.m., not close to my house, but they could get me in. So I got up at 6:45, battled rush hour traffic. I get there. I even got there before they turned the lights on in the place. Like, I was there before the staff, I think. Okay. I get in, I go in, I wait some more. And I was like, well, I don't know. I was here when they opened. I don't really quite understand why I'm still waiting. And finally, the technician calls my name and she goes, I'm really sorry, but I've been trying to start the machine and I've tried to like start it for 4 different times and it's just not working. Yeah. And the maintenance people can't get here till noon. And I was like, well, I it's now 9. I have to go teach. Mm-hmm. And I was like, to be honest, this is not at all close to my house. Like there's other imaging places closer that I would have preferred to go to. So I ended up not getting that done. So on Friday, I got blacked out. Tuesday, I had a doctor's appointment. And then today I had a scan that didn't happen. And then tomorrow I have another medical procedure. So it's just, it's a week. So.
Yeah. Speaking of medical procedures, I turned 50 a while ago, and I don't know if I said this last chat, but I got my letter in the mail. You need to go in and get your butt checked.
Yeah, that's my procedure. So I didn't want to.
Oh, well, I wasn't saying that because of that. I was just saying that because.
I mean, I'm a very open book kind of person, so like I don't really care if people know. Yeah. I just didn't want to be like disgusting.
Yes, and I never apologized for my comment last week or in Old Gray Bricks. I made a rude comment. I'll tell you offline.
I don't even remember it. So.
Yeah, no, it was like tongue in cheek. It might have been after the chat, but I'll mention it later.
Okay. Well, yeah. I didn't take any offense, so
I know you didn't, but I felt bad afterwards. So anyway, so one person watching right now. I forgot. Oh, comments. Yeah, okay, I'm on the right screen here. So yeah. So yeah, you guys are getting that Lego raised the price on the theme for you guys.
Did they?
Which one of the themes that they just announced is coming out, like new sets that are coming out.
Okay.
They announced the prices and then they raised the prices. And some of the prices are almost in line with Canadian.
Wow.
At least on some of the smaller sets. Like a set went from I don't know what it was. It went up to like $27.99 and we're $29.99 for the same set.
What was the theme?
Jurassic World.
Okay.
But the brick built baby dinosaur is the one that went up one of the most amounts. So it doesn't have dinosaurs in it, like molded dinosaurs.
I wonder if the
So
price
it's
comes from Mexico and that's why.
well, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe those sets are produced in Mexico, so they've just decided to up the price to cover the whatever the fee will be, and if it doesn't happen, then
They just make a bigger profit.
yeah. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. I was like, it would be very interesting if the American sets end up with all this crap going on, that American sets end up being closely priced to Canadian sets, which then means technically you guys could score big time coming here because you would get would that be right? No one
same price. Well, no, the dollar. If we bought in Canadian dollars, the dollar to
it would be better to buy here because you get it for cheaper.
I mean, when I was up there for Bricks and the Six, it was like 40% off if I paid in US dollars. Like, I mean, it was like, holy cow, this is a lot.
Well, if you bought it with a credit card in general, it was 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, your food in nominal dollars was more expensive than what I'm used to paying in Atlanta, but by the time I figured in exchange rate, I'm like, it's actually a little bit cheaper than Atlanta. So
yeah. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting, and like I said, it's the only one theme that they've changed the prices on so far. So
maybe Lego sending a message to America.
Well, I mean, it could just be because the dinosaurs are like most of those dinosaurs. Maybe they're molded in Mexico. Who knows? So, I mean, when we get into it, we can look at the sets that did have a price increase and the ones that didn't. But But yeah, there's that price increases. Gotta catch them all. Pokemon announcement, which is kind of weird. Not weird, but just interesting. And Bricker Builds is probably going, oh crap.
Yeah.
You heard it. Yeah. Right, because Bricker Builds is a company actually out of Atlanta that sources their brick from Ontario, or from Quebec, I should say. Coincidentally, where Matt's hat is Quebec Nordiques. But anyways,
so I've been spending more money on hats lately than I have on Lego. So this is my Nordique cap. But well, I took your comment about Bricker Builds being maybe potentially worried in that Bricker Builds is you taking Lego and building like life-size sculpture of Pokemon characters. Now that Lego has the license, it's more likely that they might get a nasty letter from Lego saying, "Hey, knock it off. We paid for this license." That's where I thought you were going with that.
Well, and I'm more thinking about just they'll lose, like Lego's not going to build huge, massive sculptures of Pokemon characters, but people will probably buy more Lego related sets than going to Bricker Builds.
I see.
I wonder how that Bricker Build model is going to work now. Like, because, sorry, just going back to tariff type stuff. I know we don't want to talk about it, but it kind of is interesting in this case because
it impacts the hobby. So I mean, I think it's
fair. Because I mean, Bricker Builds, the sets are created in the States, like they're digitally created in the sets, the instructions. But when people place an order, the order actually gets sent to a company in Montreal.
Okay.
It's a Bricklink store in Montreal.
Okay.
Called Canada First Bricks. And they buy brick directly off of Lego, brand new brick. They place hundreds of orders every day.
I see.
For brick. Then they fulfill those orders and they ship them out across the world.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I don't know how that would affect. Like they will end up, if they keep that thing up, they would probably get tariffed when they go into the States, which means the prices will go up for you guys, but they'll be the same for us,
and presumably the same if someone's buying it in another country.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's like if it's like a British person or a German person buying the set, it's not going to make any difference for those folks. But
well, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting scenario. I don't know what'll happen with that, but and then a few new sets, Bricklink sets. The Bricklink Series 7 is coming out, or will be available to pre-order in January or February 2026, and they've announced the 5 sets already. And with that, I think Bricklink Designer Program 3 just got sent out.
Is that right?
Yeah, so they're like 4 behind.
Yeah.
Well, 3 behind because 6 just happened, but
I don't think I have any that I'm waiting on. I think I've ordered 3 sets from the designer, but it was like wave 1, wave 2. I think everything that's come out, I've kind of looked at and gone, I could probably piece that together from parts in my collection if
Well,
the instructions are available digitally. I
yeah,
don't
and they are.
Okay.
All the instructions are available digitally, and technically they're with the pallets. I believe they're with the bricks and pieces pallets, with exception of possibly stickers if there's stickers in the set.
True.
So yeah, I don't know what's happening with that, but anyways, all right. How you been? Well, you talked about doctor stuff related, but
I'll show you my Lego. So I'm on the second to last bag.
Ooh.
So I'm working on the mast for the sail, and
yeah.
Probably by the time the show's over, I'll be putting the sails on the sail rigging. So
yeah, okay.
I may complete it in the span of our show. So
cool.
or today's show.
Cool. Well, I mean, you probably will. I mean, we'll be online for a little bit.
Yeah.
But news-wise, there isn't actually that much news. But there's still some stuffs, I guess. Okay. And anything else? You placed any orders for Lego lately? I know you said you've been buying hats more than Lego.
Yeah. No, the only sets I bought in 2025 have been the new modular and this set, the Endurance.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's it. And honestly, they're the only thing that's really on my want list right now is the expansion of Ninjago City, because I have all the other I have the other three.
Gotta get them all.
This is kind of the least exciting to me personally.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I'm a completist, so I must have it.
Yeah. When the last few Ninjago City expansions came out, I kind of thought, is it worth trying to get all of them? Because I liked the last couple of them, and then I saw this one, and it's like, nope, I'm good. So
yeah, the mech building facility doesn't do anything for me, but I'm not a big like cyberpunk kind of person in general, so it's
yeah. All right, cool. Let's go back to here. Yeah, and just so you can see, I'm monitoring Wi-Fi. Of course, it doesn't monitor when. So now I'm monitoring myself, broadcasting me monitoring the Wi-Fi on. Anyway,
it's a enigma wrapped in a mystery wrapped in a puzzle.
Yeah. That's what that is. So, anyway, sorry for the cough.
You still got the cough. It just has.
Yeah, it's only when I'm conversing now. Like, it's not like I have a cough all the time. It's just, my throat is dry. It's a little dry in here, I think, possibly. Although, I have an older house built in the 60s, I believe. And so the concrete floor is pockmarked with little chips and dents over the years and stuff. I don't think there's actually any physical cracks, but probably when I first moved in, we had a really bad, it was like early winter, or late winter, we had a really bad rain shower, lots of rain dumps, and my basement didn't flood, but it puddled. There were little puddles that formed around the little pockmarks. Okay. And as I was walking, like actually just where this pole is right behind me here, that piece of ground there, like I've got all the rubber mats. I'm trying to find a place where
Is it wet?
I've got all the mats on the floor here behind me. But right where that pole is, the mat has been pulled up because I rearranged it.
Nobody puts mats for.
Yeah, nobody puts mats. Yeah, exactly. But I actually found a couple of little tiny puddles there where there's a pockmark and the water's come up. Now, when I discovered that originally, I bought a can of sealer. Like there's special basement sealer that you can put down, and I only did one layer because it was like $150 a can, or something like that. I don't know how much it was when I bought it. I remember it was expensive for me at that time, and it was probably because I was just moving into the house and stuff. So I had put that down on the floor the first time, and now I'm wondering if at some point I'm going to have to take part of the Lego room apart, paint that half, like paint part of it, and then move everything once it dries, move stuff over and slowly redo the whole floor with that sealer stuff. And this time actually buy more than like a couple of layers, right? So, but yeah, that's just the cost of ownership and living in a house that's fairly old. Like I said, I think most of the cracks are sealed. It's just the oddball little one here or there. And I grabbed a paper towel and I absorbed the water the first time. And I took another paper towel, did it one more time, and then the third paper towel, it's dry.
So is it coming up from underneath?
Yeah, it's going underneath the foundation and then penetrating up.
Okay.
which I mean, it happens just because the ground is so frozen, and I guess right along the walls, it's not as frozen because of the heat of the house. That would be my thought. Um, but yeah, it's what it is, I guess. I also like underneath the area I'm sitting. I have like they have these floorboards or 2x2 pieces of pressed like chipwood,
Mhm.
but underneath them they have a rubber mat that has grooves in it, so it raises the floor up like half an inch.
Yeah.
But the idea is that any water seeping up would be a channel through those. Doesn't touch wood. It's on between the rubber and the cement, and technically, if it gets too much, then it would slowly drain out towards the drain system. So I've got about 8 of those underneath this area. So I'm thinking maybe spend the money this year or next and just do the whole floor.
So I grew up in Michigan, and in
Yes.
Michigan, there's a common. I don't know if this is true in Ontario, so that's why I'm bringing this up. But
Sure.
in Michigan, people refer to Michigan basements as basements where there's water incursions that happen.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very, very common in Michigan, partly because the soil is kind of clay and it traps the water against your like your concrete blocks.
Yeah. Okay.
So we built a house from the ground up when I was a kid, and when I was a teenager, my dad and I built it, and we actually built it with block walls on 3 of the sides in the basement. The one side was open, and my dad put this layer of sand that was in between the earth and the sides of the house, and then we ran pipes at the bottom so the water could drain down and then flow out, and
yeah. Okay.
worked.
Yeah.
So, but most people have what they call Michigan basements, which are basements where the water gets in, at least some of the time.
Yeah. These are the style thing. It's just a tongue and groove thing, and it just has these little pads underneath it. It's called dry core. I don't know how efficient or how good it is, but you know, it allows you to put a finished floor, I guess, in the basement and be fairly safe. I mean, if you have a flood from a backed up sewer pipe, then all that wood can get tossed. But I've had my sewer pipe replaced a few years ago, so I'm good there.
Hopefully.
It's just a question of, do I spend the money and, you know, or just deal with the occasional, you know, if I see some water seeping through a tile, I pull the tile up and absorb the water.
So this house that
Mhm.
we built, my dad took a job that was further away, and so my parents relocated to the west side of Michigan for a year or two when my dad had this job. And so I was a college student my senior year, and I had to do laundry for my clothes, and so I would just, the house was only 22 minutes away from the college, so I would just go home to the house, unlock it, and go and do my laundry because it was free. And I go to do I go to the house, and I go to open the basement door because that's where the washer and dryer are. And I open the door, and water flows out over the threshold.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, this is bad." So I go in the house, and this is all back in the day of landlines. And I called my parents on the west side of Michigan. And I was like, "There's 2 inches of water in the basement." My dad, and I was like, I got out the snow shovel, you know, like a snow shovel, like wide, and I literally was shoveling water out the door over the threshold. And I got out a shop vac, and I got out fans, and my dad's like, "We'll be there in the morning." It was already like 10 o'clock at night. He's like, you know, it's just too late. And so he's like, you can turn on the heat so it starts to help dry it out. But so what had happened was one of the spigots that went outside the house that we'd hook up a garden hose on the outside.
It cracked.
It froze and cracked, and the water leaked inside the house instead of. That was a problem.
Yeah, that's a regular winter thing that we have to do here. We just you have a tap inside to turn the spigot off, and then you open the spigot up completely so that whatever water's in there drains out. And if it does start to expand, it kind of pushes out anyways. David Sincere, hello, sir.
Last bag.
Matt's on his last bag. I don't know what he's going to do after that, but he's on his last bag. Bag, not leg. Okay, yeah, last leg. That would be good. So
he's going to open one of his other unbuilt Lego sets, probably.
Yeah. So I haven't really made much progress with my Duplo train. I mean, I've made some, but basically I've started working on the ramps. So I've got this ramp little design here, and just got the the floor underneath it. I actually placed my first bricks and pieces standard order. I've got some Duplo bricks in light gray coming for this, and I've got a bunch of the tile coming because the 1x4 tiles I'm completely out of. So I ordered those and 1x2 tiles. So I've got an order coming that's standard. Ooh, the rope. I've got an order coming that's standard.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I drained my hose before coming onto the chat, Dave. Oh, outside spigots. Yeah, got it. Yeah, okay. Excuse me. So yeah, I placed a standard order and also a bestseller order. The bestseller order is some of the 1x4 tiles. So I'm expecting to have to wait 28 days for it to ship, the standard order. However, some Discord users are saying that they ordered on March 12th, I think, when the service became available, and they have already had their orders shipped from standard because they've caught up, and now they're just dealing with the North American orders. So it is possible that the wait may only be a week, at least right now, until the rush of new parts is added, and then we'll get back to month-long stuff. Hey, it's the Ontario flag. Oh, no, wait, that's not the Ontario flag. It's close.
Is it?
Isn't it? I think so. Hold on.
I don't remember what the Ontario flag looks like, to be honest. I mean, I know the Quebec one has the fleur de lis on it. But...
Oh, it's close. Yeah, we have really, I clicked on, except I clicked on it and got, hold on. I got a Home Hardware. This is the Canadian. Well, this is the Canadian flag. So it's
hardware, man. Oh, it is pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just missing the actual leaves, the crown on it, or the shield part.
Yeah, it's the same.
So, yeah. Speaking of Ontario, my daughter is currently in Sarnia, Ontario. No, Windsor, Ontario. One of those cities.
I'm Sarnia. I'm sorry.
I think she's Windsor. No, she's in Sarnia. That's right. For the Ontario level high school championships for volleyball, or no, for volleyball, for curling.
Oh, nice.
I don't know where, which she just started doing this year, which is kind of cool. And I said curl, I said volleyball because she used to watch an anime show about volleyball, and I just remember watching that with her, and for some reason that was in my head. But yeah, they had a game today. They didn't win the game, but they've got 3 more games to play. 3 more curling games. I can't think of the proper terms. So I'm rooting for her, but I can't actually watch any of the games, but I can at least the scores are being posted, or the current scores are being posted every 5 or 10 minutes type thing. So yeah, Chronicles of Sarnia. Thanks.
Cool.
So
yeah,
so yeah, I did some early building. I haven't had a chance to get down here much. I was away on the weekend, and I did buy some Lego. I'll talk about that in a minute. I did buy some Lego, and when I came back, I got the internet story. I got my I had talked to someone on Monday with my company for the fiber. And I said, what are the odds of me actually getting fiber? And he's like, I'm still hoping it'll happen, but we are waiting for Bell Canada to move to do what needs to be done. And then I got a phone call later that day, I think it was, or yesterday, or a couple of days ago. I got a phone call this week from someone from TELUS saying, hey, just curious, have you heard anything Weekend at Jeffy? Apparently Dave is just quoting a whole bunch of old movies and changing the names. But apparently, so a guy from TELUS called me, one of the sales reps or whatever, and said, have you seen anybody in your backyard from Bell Canada or Ontario Hydro doing any work on the pole? And I'm like, and I was in a meeting, it was 4:00, I was in a meeting, so I couldn't really stay on the phone too long. I'm like, no, I haven't seen anybody. So we talked for a couple of minutes and then I hung up. But I started realizing that's a good point. The pole that my cable needs to be moved to is owned by the Hydro, the electric company. In order for them to move the cables over, Bell Canada or TELUS has to get Bell Canada to do it. Bell Canada probably has to call the Hydro company to move the wires over safely because it's an electrical pole. And while they're normally like 4 or 5 feet apart, it's quite possible that they need to get them to do it instead. So I might actually have 3 levels of service needed, like 3, you know what I mean, in order to get the work done. So coincidentally, at that point, I called my ISP that I'm currently using, which is Kudo Mobile, also owned by my company, and they're as I said before, they're leasing the line off the local cable off of Cogeco here in Ontario, or here in Peterborough. So I called my company. I went through did you reboot the router? Did you reset the router? All this stuff. They actually said, "Oh, did we activate the new router you got?" And I'm like, "I hope so." So she ended up looking it up, and she's like, and asked me for the serial numbers and all that stuff. And it turns out, yes, they did register the router properly. And she's like, "Okay, we've contacted, I'll get back to you. I'm sending a message to Cogeco." She called me a few hours later, and Cogeco said the next step would be to replace the hardware. And I'm like, "No, I've already replaced the hardware in February. So please go back to them and say, hardware's already been replaced. We need someone to come out." So they put a request in. The next morning, I get a text message saying that someone's coming to the house. They ended up coming at after 5 last night, the night before. Anyways, after 5, after work, they came, and and the guy went out to the pole. Like, he checked outside the house. Yes, the cable signal is crap coming into the house. So he went out to the pole, climbed the pole, or no, put the wire. I've got pictures. Put the ladder on the wire, because they have a high tension wire that they can put it on. So he was like 10 feet away from the pole, and the whole time I'm like, I hope that pole stays up. That was a different story. And he went up to the cable box that's up there, and he hooked a cable up to it, and his tester up to it. And he's like, "Yeah, there's signal here, so it's somewhere between the pole or that box and the wire going across the line and then out to my house." So he's like, "It's getting late now, so, and I don't have the qualifications to do this, to change it. So I will drop a line down to the ground and run it out. So it's basically plugged directly into that box, and to the ground, and run it out to your house. And I have cable, but it's very low quality."
Well, some cable programming has always been low quality.
This is true. Now let me pull up the pictures for a second, because the next part of the story gets kind of interesting. Let me
was there somebody gyrating on the pole?
No, not that kind of interest. Oh, I will talk about this quickly. Lego store. They did have the new minifig torsos, which are dark or reddish orange, which I wasn't certain of. That's one of the reasons I was going. So I got some crabs, and I got a few of those.
I'm sorry.
What else? I did buy the green Speed Champion car. I think it's Kick. The green Ferrari. That was the one that had some of the cooler pieces that I wanted to check out. It's not a Ferrari, sorry, the green F1 car. So I ended up building that the other day. And like some of the new pieces, there's another new wedge piece here that's 4x2 with a wedge, and it's I don't know, it's kind of an interesting piece. You know me, I like my pieces. And then there was the new 2x6 curved, inverted curve tile, some new tires with prints, 1x6 slope here as well. And then these wheel rim fender pieces for the front of the car, which New Elementary did a review on, so we'll check that out. Hey Rick, welcome, Shazam. Nice to see you around. I've seen you posting on Facebook and stuff. I mean, nice to see you here. Darn you, tell us, Bell Hydro 1 Cogeco, the pole, the wood of the pole. Yeah. So speaking of the pole, we'll get to those pictures in a moment. So this is the existing pole, and you can see there's like little black areas on this pole all over the place. There's a nice little bells tag here, which means the pole should have been replaced 10 years ago. Holes all the way through. The pole's been cut off because the new pole was installed, and this is the cable box right here that the guy had to get to. And over here, you can barely see it, but I can't get zoom in anymore. Over here is where my fiber cable is. So in order to get to the fiber cable, they have to lean a ladder against the pole. But anyways, that's one thing. I did take some close-ups to show you that this pole does have holes in it. It is fairly hollow. It's not completely hollow. I mean, it's sturdy. I pushed against it and it didn't fall. I did that before anybody came out to, to work on the pole. But yeah, the bottom of the pole is looking pretty scary, for lack of a better word. So yeah, and then this orange tag here is where my Telus Wi-Fi or my Telus fiber or Bell fiber would come into. So it's so close to the pole they'd have to lean something against the pole. Anyway, my snow is almost gone in my front yard. So yeah, this is the cable guy. He's got the ladder up there, and it's just strung along the high tension cable, which is right here. So there's that, and this one I'm just going to close. And this brings us to the next part of the story. I will wait for Matt to come back for this, but I know he had to go run and do something. There he is, right there. So today, this morning, the Cogeco repairman. So the guy was at. I got my temporary cable laid out yesterday. Today, another Cogeco truck pulls up. Guy knocks on the door. It's like, I'm here to put the real cable in. I'm like, wow, that was quick. Okay, cool. So he's, I show him what's going on and stuff. And he's like, okay, I'll go in the backyard. I mean, you'll lose your internet eventually, but for about 5 minutes while I do the switch over. I'm like, that's cool. I'm working downstairs, so maybe just knock on the window, one of the windows down here, so I know what's going to happen. So I continued working. 5-10 minutes later, I hear a knock on the window. I start walking upstairs because I'm like, well, I'm going to lose my internet. I might as well go upstairs and watch what he's doing. And as I'm walking upstairs, he knocks on my back door as well. And I'm like, yeah, coming. And I got out there. And he's like, yeah, we have to put a hold on the job. And I'm like, why? And he then proceeded to show me why. And I'm just going full screen here. So this is a video. And before the video starts, the hydro lines are up here. The electrical lines are up here. This is about 3-4 feet difference between this line, which is the cable, and these lines, which are the Bell internet, or the Bell phone and internet.
So when you say hydro, you mean the electrical power?
Electrical, yes. We call it hydroelectric because that's our main,
Right.
Ontario Hydro is our main company.
Yep.
So yes, apologies for all you Americans who don't know what hydro is.
Well, I'm assuming in Western Canada they don't get their power from hydro either.
Well, not in like Alberta, but
They
might. I don't know. There's probably some waterfalls out there they can harness. Nothing like we're getting all ours. Peterborough has their own waterfall in town, so we actually have a hydroelectric plant here.
Is that right?
Yeah. And obviously Niagara Falls, which supplies, New York State with electricity as well. But anyways, okay. This is a little video. It's only a few seconds, like 10 seconds. But keep your eye on these wires, and keep your eye on the distance of these wires to the cable line, which is right here. You ready?
I'm ready.
Watch this. I preloaded it. Why is that distance closing in? Why is that distance almost touching the cable? So it turns out, and I'll pause it once we get there, this nice big tree back here is pushing the hydro lines down onto the cable lines.
Nice.
So the guy can't go up there because this is where you can't really see it, but my cable line comes out somewhere around here. I'm trying to find the line. Oh yeah, here's the line right here in the sky. So that's my cable line coming in there. So it's right where the power lines are. So yeah, there's a Hydro BC. This is true. So he's like, I can't put a ladder up there because that's too close to the electrical lines, and I need to call Ontario Hydro to come and fix that before we can give you a real cable connection. And I'm like, what the? So technically, if Ontario Hydro is supposed to move the lines for Bell over to my pole, and they're also supposed to do this, I'm like, am I going to have to wait a really long time for this now?
Yes.
Or are they going to say, why do we have 2 work orders from 2 different companies for the same house? Assuming they have 2 different work orders. So they said they put a rush on this one because cutting a tree down or cutting limbs off of a tree is not that hard for them to do. But I asked the guy, sorry,
Jeff goes out with his own chainsaw. I was like, fine, I'll just do it myself.
I'll just cut the whole damn tree down. The funny thing is the tree's not on my front yard, or not in my yard, so it's not my tree. But so I said to the guy after he explained that, I'm like, well, can I ask a stupid question? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, would the interference of the electrical lines be causing me to have bad internet? And he's like, that's possible. So this whole time, it might have been a tree that's been my undoing. And so David Sincere should now write, damn you, tree. Or darn you, tree. Telus, Hydro, Bell, Cogeco, the pole, the tree, the wires. Anyway. So this is quite the run-on story, but it's kind of also kind of humorous in a way.
The tragic comedy.
The tragic comedy. Yeah. And of course, Hydro Quebec, yes. So, yeah. Tragic comedy. So I still have goals to get TELUS Internet. TELUS Fiber, I should say. It's just a question of when all that work gets done. So I will hopefully have a cable connection that's reliable. Like I said, I've been running on my phone just because I thought the chat would take a lot more juice, and it's only taking 3.6 megs or less than a meg a second, which is good to know. So yeah. Built the Ferrari set. Oh, I also got, what else did I get? I also got the little space robot guy too. The Creator 3-in-1.
Space.
Which I will build one of these days. Yes, exactly, space. So I am home this weekend, so I might get some building done. Let's see what happens. That's my goal, because part of my bestseller order should be in on Friday. Oh, and today on Amazon, one of the Animal Crossing sets came on a better deal. So like it was 78% off? No.
Wow.
72% off? It was like 70% off. It was a little bit more than 70%. Or no, sorry. Wow. It was $100 set. It was down to $72. So sorry, it was 28% off. I was using the numbers. Anyways.
You were using dollar numbers and not percentage.
Exactly, yeah. Hello, Never Too Old for Lego. Welcome. The Learning Richard, yeah, we said hi to you. I'm just checking up on chat here. Jeff is here as well. Yeah, Camel. Actually, yeah, I think it was Camel that reminded me. One of the other Animal Crossing. So I did order that set because I thought, it's $72 on a $100 set. That's a decent enough price. There has been another one that I've been watching that's been sitting at 25% off. So it's at like the $75 mark, and I'm like, it's been like that for months, and I'm like, is it going to drop anymore? Because if it does, then I'll buy it up as well. But so I placed orders the Bricklink order, or the Bricks and Pieces order this week, and I threw in some collectible minifigs. Why not? And now Amazon. So I've been bad. I spent almost a couple $100 on Lego this week.
So, but in your Animal Crossing goal is to collect all the minifig characters.
Yeah, I was trying to collect all the minifigs. I think they're cute. At some point, if I ever do something, like I'm also trying to collect all the Fabland characters, because same thing. I think they're kind of interesting. And maybe at some point I will do something themed towards them. But it won't be like an Animal Crossing theme or a Fabland theme. It'll be like a alternate universe castle or something.
Cute animal theme.
Well, or something. Space, but with those characters or something. I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting to use those heads as well. Just like you can put those heads on a space character or on a castle guy or something. I don't know. So Jeff has just contributed to next year's Lego record profits. Yes, and so did you, Dave, when you ordered some Lego recently as well. So, but yeah. I think we're ready for the news.
News.
So why don't we jump into the news? Okay, let me just set up the screen here. And I usually have a blank page when I'm like, hey, I can throw a Canadian Brick Builder picture up. Which reminds me, I need to go back in and re-edit this picture. And I think Richard, what was his name? No. Oh crap, I can't think of his name. Rich, one of the guys that was on that used to be on our chats. He originally he made this in Lego Digital Designer before I was at that point that I could do it. So I think I need to redo this because I've never liked these little gaps here in his version.
So this piece of string that Lego sent me,
Yeah.
it's almost as far as I can hold my arms out.
Wow.
When it's unspooled.
This week in the news. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of string.
It's about 4 feet.
Well, it's got to cover the whole length of the ship, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll start off with Lego ideas. And Dave Cowdice, who we've been missing lately, he is around. He's doing okay. I saw him. I went to Lego dinner last weekend, or on the weekend as well. That's where I was out of town. And chatted with him for a bit. He's doing well. And I mentioned his name because he loves the Golden Girls. And well, there's a story there that we tease him about all the time. He always says, "Oh, Greta Garbo." I don't know who she is. Like older actresses. He's like, "Oh, she was hot when I was a kid," and all this stuff. So I started bugging him that he probably thought all the Golden Girls were hot when he was younger too.
Greta Garbo. She's like, so I'm about the same age as Dave.
I'm being sarcastic. I don't know if that's who it was.
Well, but I mean, she was considered a hot item in her day, but that was way before he and I were born. So she's like,
okay, well, okay, again, that's not whose name it was. He would say,
okay, gotcha.
he would just mention an actress who, if I look at the picture now, I'm like, wow, they're old, and I mean that in that they're in their 70s or 60s or 70s, right? And yes, like I know that's not that old.
Could be like Farrah Fawcett or something.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Well, he was always a Ginger, not. Or he was always a Marianne, not Ginger type of guy, a Velma, not Daphne type of guy as well, which was one of his recent chats. But Rick Rickham, or Brick Rickham, he's the one that originally created that because he was playing with Digital Designer during COVID. So, Taz, hello, welcome, good evening. This reminded me of Mr. Cowdice because it did. Golden Girls has made it into the Lego Ideas possible list of sets to be created. This is created by Martin Studio. The build features the kitchen area from the sitcom. It was also part of the fan vote entries in the If We Could Turn Back Time building contest from last year. So I guess if you did participate in one of those contests, you can enter that year mock-in as an ideas item as well afterwards, which is kind of nice. So a couple of more shots of it. It's got the full cast of ladies before them. Next up we have a Scooby-Doo one, Ravenswood Mansion version 2 or version 0.2. This is built by Tobnak. It's a 4,937 piece build, features an updated Ravenswood mansion that uses the new limit of 5,000 pieces because they did up the limit. The tree in the original submission has been switched out with the mystery machine. Well, that's probably a good idea. It's massive. It looks really nice though. And it's got a full interior. Well, it's got a cutaway of the interior, which you have to solve capers and deal with those. I'm trying to think of the phrase. Sorry?
To deal with all the masked villains?
Yeah, no, I was thinking of I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those sniveling kids. I forget the word.
Kids and that dog.
Yeah, no, they usually use the word, and I forget what it was, and it's just one of those nights. So I think this is kind of a cool idea. It would be nice to bring back Scooby-Doo because we've had it in the past, and I know people love Scooby. Can you blame them? No. So let's hope that one happens. There's also a Heartstopper, Be Yourself, which I have never heard of.
Oh, I know this.
This is by Feastbricks.
So Heartstopper is a UK show.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's available at least here on Netflix in the States. And it is a high school romance coming of age for two young gay men. So it's called Heartstopper. It's crushingly optimistic.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's it's like there's lots of those kinds of movies for straight people, and they made one for young gay gay
That's
couple.
awesome.
So it was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute. We watched it, enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, and the summary here is the build is based on Charlie's Room in the LGBTQ plus young adult graphic novel and webcomic series by Alice Oseman. So yeah, maybe like you're saying, there's a show as well.
Yep.
So I didn't get a chance to read these ahead of time, so I didn't know the relation of the show. So thank you for filling us in on that one, Matt. There's some cool posters as well that's in here that they've created. I guess that's probably what the room has. So
yeah, that's his
makes
bedroom
sense.
in the show.
Yeah.
Based on the TV, so that's clearly based on the TV.
Yeah.
TV
Okay.
footage.
There is also a fan vote now live on Lego Ideas. I'm pretty sure it's still live because it was posted only a few days ago. This is for the Lego Ideas 90s throwback in the next chapter. So this is the 90s models that were people were asked to build, and they've selected 5 items that could be a future Target exclusive set. So I'm assuming that would be released in Canada through Lego.com. Meddling kids. Thank you very much, Jeff. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Couldn't think of the right word. So the first item or the first design that's available for voting on is the Forrest Gump Suitcase of Memories by Mind the Brick. There is a Wallace and Gromit by Pedalum. This one I really like. I have a feeling this one might win it just because it's well designed. There's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer by Victoria 78221. That being said, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there's probably a lot of people that love Buffy, so I could see this one getting voted for.
Yep.
Wouldn't be my choice, but I could see it happening. The Mighty Ducks by Blocksmith. This is the one Matt would vote for. Although you did say that you didn't really have much interest in it because you have hockey players and stuff like that as well. So
yeah, it's okay. Honestly, by the time Mighty Ducks came out, I was too old to enjoy it as like a kids movie.
Yeah.
And as an adult, it seemed a little juvenile, but it's a famous hockey movie, so I might.
With meddling kids. Oh no, maybe not.
I'll tell you what, my husband would probably want the Buffy one. He was a big Buffy.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I can understand that. I do like the idea of them building a rink. And I was looking at the design of this rink and the fact that he's put tiles underneath with the pattern on it and then the ice on top. That's pretty much how rinks are designed as well, right?
Yes, it is.
Circles are all painted on the concrete and then they put the ice over top of it, as far as I know.
That is correct.
Yeah. So it's kind of a true to its nature type of build. The next one is Mr. Bean by Diving Faces, which I have to say I do like this car, the little car, the mini design and stuff. But and this would be a smaller one, so I mean I could see people choosing this just because it would be a lower cost set. And that's it. So there's the 5 items available or to be voted on. So if you care for any of these, go vote. Everybody should vote.
I will say that none of those cause an extremely passionate response in me personally, but
yeah.
But hopefully some, it doesn't have to be for me.
Yeah, I can understand that. For the record, I've been researching Duplo trains lately, so if you see Duplo trains popping up, because there's a couple of sets. There's one of the new sets I want to buy, the $50 bridge set, but that's different. That's just because of my Duplo train project, really. All right, Bricklink Designer Program Series 7 finalists have been announced. So there's 5 sets that will be available to be purchased beginning February of 2026. The 5 designs are now with the model governance and building instructions team to make any final changes needed before the pre-production. Crowdfunding for these sets will begin in February. So there's the Privateer Frigate Fortuna by Brick Perfection, which is a nice ship, Matt. There's a nice boat.
Ooh, I don't know how many other ships I can fit in my house though. Like, if I get the Mississippi one and then this one and then the Titanic, that might be it for my ship collection.
Until the next one comes out. The next real one, I mean, like the next Lego built one. There's Walt, the little robot by Leewen. This one's pretty cute. It has different faces, different face options. The robot itself just looks pretty cool. If I were to buy one, I would probably be putting my money in on this one. Because like I said, I think it's a cool little design. There's a sushi restaurant by Brick Project, which is modular-ish. Yes, it does have holes, so it is a modular design. It also has a train car behind it, though, which is kind of interesting. It's got a streetcar behind it. The Alchemist Shop by Shram. Excuse me, sorry, my nose got tickly. Which is a castle themed set. So there is a castle one in here. So this one will probably get. I don't know if this one will sell quick. I think it will, but it's not an actual castle. So,
but it feels like it feels very medieval village-ish, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, this one is interesting. I'm looking at it. The more I look at it, I'm like, okay, maybe I would purchase two different ones if I were to purchase these. Again, there's no prices announced on any of these yet because that's like February next year. Who knows what prices will be like then? One of the cool features though is that there is a little vial kind of coming out of the roof as a smokestack, like a beaker or a vial. I guess that's the best word for it. And then last but not least is Antique Collections by Teramu, which is a like an old china cabinet with a bunch of things in it. There are some minifig torsos in there of different shade colors, so that's kind of interesting.
I guess that's where they keep the bodies.
That's where they keep the bodies, yeah. Well, I was just thinking it'd be nice if they came out with a few new colored torso, like blank torsos. Because everybody's always wanting more empty torsos so they can sticker them or do what they want or print on them. So, anyway. Wow, I got everything going on. I got sneezes, I got coughs, I got yawns, little brain fart here and there. All right, there is also a contest going on right now on the LEGO site for the LEGO House LEGO Fabulous Tribute set to get a signed contest. It's a sweepstakes. This is on the you get a chance to win one of 8 signed copies of this set from now until April 6th. You can spend 50 insider points for a chance to win the set signed by designers Stuart Harris and Marcus Rollbowler. This is a maximum of 50 entries, so you can gamble 2,500 points to see if you are lucky enough. Eligible countries for the sweepstakes include Canada, excluding Quebec. Dave, you got to contact LEGO and say, dudes, it's okay in Quebec now. Estonia, France, excluding French overseas departments or territories, and the Principality of Monaco. No one moved to Monaco, especially anybody from Quebec, because you're not going to help yourself. The Netherlands, Republic of Ireland, Slovakia, Sweden, Switzerland, United Kingdoms, and United States. So it's done alphabetically. That's why Canada came first. But I appreciate that Canada came first. And obviously, this is not a around the world type of contest. It's only limited to those areas, which is interesting because Australia and New Zealand aren't in this. So it seems Europe and North America, for the most part, or most of Europe and North America. Anyway. Interesting. Do I see Spain and Portugal? I don't even see Spain and Portugal. Interesting. Or Italy. Anyway, so yeah, if you want, hop onto LEGO, go to the Insider Program area, and you can find the sweepstakes ballot for this. Germany and Belgium aren't in there either. Huh. Interesting. Maybe there's a separate contest for them. Okay, gift of purchase promotions right now. There is an Easter tote bag available, as well as the actual Easter set. That's the flower thingy, which I think is probably the next thing we'll talk about. The LEGO shop has started a new gift of purchase promotion for the Easter tote bag. You can get it for free with purchases of $60 in City, Creator 3-in-1, Dreams, and or Friend sets, excluding pre-orders. This promotion will run until March 23rd while supplies last. And it does stack with a botanical mixed flower pot when you make a purchase of 150, 190 US, Canadian, 150 US. Coincidentally, nope. I think we talked about the botanical last week. That's the current gift for purchase. Just this evening, LEGO announced another surprise Easter Bunny surprise gift for purchase. So this is a 217-piece set. So this is breaking news, technically. It's a 215-piece set or 217-piece set that can open up to reveal a play scene inside. There's no information yet when it will be available or the price requirements to get it. My assumption would be it'll probably be available after the 21st or the current promotion ends, the 21st, 23rd, whenever that is. It'll probably be the next one in line.
And I will add, this is not an official announcement, but historically Lego has done double VIP points around Easter weekend.
Okay.
Not always, but often they do double points.
Easter weekends. What weekend is Easter weekend?
That's April. We're still a month away. I'm teasing it.
Easter weekend 2025 survey says April 18th to April 20th. So I mean this gift for purchase might be later in April. It might not be right away. There is a shot here of the box on the back. You can see there is a little scene inside of a garden with a little Easter bunny plate hat and a little place for the squirrel with a bunny and a squirrel. So it's kind of cute. And it comes with a sticker sheet that you can decorate your bricks if you wish. Okay. All right. Next up, new Lego Botanical set was unveiled today as well, called Petite Sunny Boutique, or sorry, Petite Sunny Bouquet. Sorry. This is a new set with the Petite Sunny Bouquet, released on May the 1st, available for pre-order today. The set is 373 pieces and will retail for $30 US. It's a very spring-inspired set filled with various colorful flowers. And as you can see, and this article does show you all the different flowers. So we have the new sunflower leaves in yellow, like they're almost in every botanical set right now because yellow makes sense. They've got the I used to remember the name of this actual plant, but these are the Z blob figures in a regular color for flowers.
They're like cockle shells or something like that.
Yeah. I don't remember the name that I was thinking of, but they've got
or blue bonnets. They're blue
bonnets. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. I don't know all the names of flowers. I'm just showing the pictures because there's some interesting colors in here. They're showing the same blue bonnet again. These I would guess are daisies. No, maybe not daisies. The smaller one. Those are the small flowers on it. I forget what those are called.
Daisy.
But these ones do come with that the sunflower element in white. So that's kind of nice to see too that they are bringing it in more colors. And my apologies for not knowing enough about plants to name them all. But I know a lot about Lego. So, and the other thing I don't know a lot about is catching them all, because Pokemon sets are coming in 2026. So recently, Mega has had the license for Pokemon sets. So the announcement has been made, but it's not coming out until 2026. I think this is enough time to hopefully discount all the Mega Block sets and get them off the store shelves. Because I'm assuming Lego would not want Mega Block sets to also be Pokemon at the same time as theirs. That's my thought, because that would be
confuse consumers.
Confusing. Yeah, for sure.
Even if the Lego sets were superior,
yeah.
If Grandma went in to buy a Pokemon, and that Grandma might not realize that they were buying the Lego branded or the Mega branded.
Exactly. And while they are compatible, they're not necessarily the same quality. I know Mega has improved a lot from what I understand. It seems like there's a new Bricklink series every month now. Pretty much. Two hobbies will collide as Lego has officially announced that we will finally be getting Lego Pokemon sets in 2026. In the teaser, we see the Lego Pikachu tail with a bolt of lightning with the caption, "Get ready to electrify your imagination in 2026." As we know, Pokemon Company has been licensed with Mattel and under their Mega Construct brand for a while now, but it looks like Lego will be starting next year. It's a multi-year deal with Pokemon Company International, so we should be seeing a lot of sets in the near future. I am going to play the quick first few seconds of this, and I'm going to try and pause it. There. I literally played 1 second of it. I noticed someone caught this on Instagram, and I wanted to point it out that in the promo, the second it starts, you already know it's Pokemon because there's a little Pokeball instead of a logo here on this stud.
What?
Which it's not going. That's not how the bricks are going to be made. It's just more for their promotion.
It's a digital Easter egg.
It's a digital Easter egg. Yeah, I just thought it was kind of interesting. So yeah. And then there's another article that came out as well, so I figured I'd pull that up too. What can we expect from Pokemon in 2026? So Mega has had the license since the early 2000s. So I mean that's 20 plus years of Pokemon. I'm not going to read this whole article because it's got a lot of words.
So here's a question: if you're Lego and you're taking over a license, a topic that another rival company has had, do you make the same sets or do you make completely unique sets that the other rival never made?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, you've got to make the main characters. There's got to be a
Correct.
Pikachu, but also, like, I don't know. I don't. Sorry, I was going to say I don't know what the Mega sets looked like, right? And I don't feel like searching for them because I don't need Mega Blocks appearing on my computer.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, I don't care personally. Pokemon has no nostalgia value for me. But I'm just thinking out loud in terms of like thinking about it in terms of the product.
Well, and the question is, do they go with minifig size characters? Or do they not do that and do what they're doing with Super Mario, where they're doing a larger scale characters?
Like the maxi
yeah, like a maxi size or something like that. I don't know maxi necessarily, but like the Hulk size characters or something like that, but brick built or whatever, like brickheads. Like, I mean, they could obviously do a lot of brickheads with this, but at the same time, I would love for them to do minifigures because I think a large crowd of people would enjoy collecting those. But I'm assuming there's also a lot of different sized Pokemon, and there's probably smaller ones and bigger ones. And if that's the case, then you've got a lot of new molds that you'll have to create for the smaller characters and things like that. I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about Pokemon to know what's been released in the past and what hasn't. Is it good for the company? Sure, yeah. Lego will sell Pokemon. Lego will make more money, make more profits. David Sincere will be ranting some more. It'll just be another year for Lego with another new theme. I'm wondering if they'll have to lose a theme or if they will discontinue something in order to start carrying this next line. Because we were picking up another one too, right? There was another thing that they announced not too long ago, I thought. Wasn't there? In my head, there was another theme that was coming in the future.
They're always announcing new themes, so probably.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Star Trek licensing as well. I was thinking that, but no, I thought there was something else geared towards kids. Oh, Bluey, the Bluey sets and all that stuff as well, which is under the Disney umbrella, so it's probably not as bad. Is your boat all built?
I dropped a part into the hall.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no, is right. I think I may just leave it in there.
You might have to crash the ship for a while.
I think I may just try to pull a part out of my collection rather than fish it out of the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. So, all right. Okay, so we were talking about price adjustments as well. So the Jurassic World Rebirth prices, the Jurassic World Rebirth sets have had a price increase for the U.S. market. So they're not available for sale yet, but Lego did add them to their site, and then they changed the prices afterwards. So less than 2 weeks after the Lego sets were announced, Lego has quietly increased the prices of a few of the sets. The only sets that weren't touched yet are the two that are up for pre-orders, which include the brick-built Mosasaurus boat mission and the T-Rex River Escape. There's no mention of why Lego decided to increase the prices, whether they originally listed them too low or it's a response to recent potential tariff threats to Mexico. The main complaints of the set were that when they were first announced was that they were overpriced, and with these price increases, fans may skip them altogether or wait for discounts.
Thank you, President.
Lego has done large and brick-built characters. Okay, so Lego could get away with smaller characters as well if they wanted to be different. So the first one is the baby Dolores, the baby dinosaur Dolores, the Aqualops, 339 pieces. Was originally $24.99, has gone up to $27.99. In Canada, this set is $29.99. So 12% increase, almost in line with Canadian pricing, with the exception of the dollar value being different, obviously. But this one is all brick built. There's no special pieces really necessarily in here. So I wouldn't expect, like, I could understand if they molded all the dinosaurs in Mexico, so there's a larger price point available for those. Assuming they are coming from Mexico, I don't know how all that works. The next one up is the Raptor Off-Road Escape, 285 pieces. Was $34.99, is now $39.99, which is a 14% increase. What's this? $76,972. In Canada, because I wanted to pull that up, that set is worth $44.99. So this one is basically $5 cheaper than Canadian pricing on this one. And again, this one has a raptor in it. Has a baby dinosaur in it at least. So I can kind of maybe understand a raise on price of this. I totally have no issue with the price being raised because it's not my country, but the Raptor and Titanosaurus tracking mission, originally $99.99, up 10% to $109.99, and this one Canadian is it doesn't bring me down the prices right away. This one Canadian is $129, so it's $20 cheaper than it is in Canada. And then the brick-built Mosasaurus boat mission, this price has remained the same at $59.99. And I am now just curious how much it is in the Canadian dollar, which is $79.99, so $20 difference. And again, this one to me is all brick built. There doesn't seem to be any new molds in it for dinosaurs. There's a new print or two maybe, but so this one I can kind of understand not changing price. But then how do you describe that, or how do you justify that other brick built set, the first one we showed, as being getting a price increase? And last but not least, the T-Rex River Escape, which is also staying at the same price of $49.99, and this one is money in Canada too. It's come on, load. This one's $64.99, so that's a $25 difference. No, sorry, a $14 difference. No, a $25 difference. I was right, 64. No, 15. Wow, math is hard.
No, yes.
50 and 65, that's $15. My apologies, everybody. And I believe, I think I remember someone saying that this dinosaur might have been a reissue of, sorry, let's rephrase that. That this dinosaur mold and printing is from an existing set. So there was no need to, they just put it into a cheaper set because this one was in one of the more expensive Jurassic World sets in the past few years. So they probably had a bunch of these sitting around. So, hey, let's use this dinosaur and save some money. And that's why this set is only $50 to be a lower price point so people can get themselves a T-Rex. I would spend $50. I don't know about 65, but I'd spend $50 to get a T-Rex if I were wanting to collect dinosaurs.
Who wouldn't want a T-Rex?
Yeah, well, this is true. And there's another one here, $150 set for the Spinosaurus and Quetzalcoatlus air mission. Yes, I had it to that. At $159, which is a 6.5% increase, and this is worth money in Canadian as well. 76. This is a $200 Canadian set, so that's like a $40 difference in price. And I mean, this has a brand new dinosaur in it as well. Actually, probably a couple. And it is the biggest set. It is the one with the helicopter. So Dave Sincere, do not buy this one in the States because it'll cost you more. But normally the Canadian price to US price, when you do conversion, normally they're fairly close. So now there's actually a difference. The American ones, like if we were to buy, if anybody in the States coming to Canada, it'd be actually cheaper to maybe buy it here as well. Because
okay, I'll come to Bricks in the 6.
Okay, done. But you might get tariffed on when you go back across. So it depends on how all that's going to work. And again, sorry for bringing it up, but
no, it's the reality. And from my personal perspective, I want Americans to feel the pain as quickly as possible. So maybe they realize that this is a dumb idea. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So as mentioned a few articles ago, the Petite Sunny Bouquet has been announced. New Elementary did a quick review or did a quick little article on it. And I believe they talk about one new piece. This is the only reason why I'm bringing this up. There's another new Technic connector. Last week we saw one that had an extra piece coming out here on the side. It was like the letter K, and this one is also a 60-degree connector, but it's only 3 points. So it's interesting that this has come out. Again, love the fact that we're getting some of these newer bends and stuff finally, because we've now had 3 new Technic connector elements added in the past year. So I'm all for it. That covered that article. And the other two I had a quick look at. There wasn't much in here. There are some new window pieces in not new windows, sorry. There's some new colors, new recolored elements. Basically all the windows in the dark orange have been recolored. Plus a bunch of plates in dark orange as well. And they use the plates actually to do some of the flooring. The wedge plates, just putting them side by side to be able to create floors with a longer length. Obviously just to prevent from having to build and use another mold. This is a great way of doing it. There's also a couple of brackets and hinge pieces as well in the new color. Staircase in white is the first time this has come out. These stairs have been in production since 1996, but never in white until now. Okay.
That's wild.
Yeah. There's the eyes from the wolf print available as well, and then some rarer parts in brown, dark orange, and nougat at the looks of it. So that's it for that one. And last but not least is the F1 sets. As I mentioned, the new suspension piece. So they did a kind of a little breakdown on what this piece is, and this piece is basically just it's got an axle hole all the way through it. In the sets, they're using it to, you put the inside part on an axle, and then you use an axle pin with the rounded end. I'm trying to think of the connector end for snapping the wheels on for spinning. But there's some interesting math in here, which I think they point out. Oh, this is the one I saw. I bought this green one for the record, but. So it's forming with the current curve on the 1x1 bricks. You can use it as a minifigure seat because it follows their butt. Mathematically, like I said, it's the axle pin goes through, so you can use 2 pins or 2 axles to connect through. I'm not really sure what this one's showing. And the angle here on the slope is fairly close to a 33-degree slope. Not quite there, but it's fairly close. And then they basically put an axle through here, or through all these, I guess. So they're just trying to play with the math, obviously, and see how it looks in different positions. This one's kind of interesting. This gives you a 6 or an 8-sided, no, 6-sided? 8-sided. Yeah, 8. An 8-sided wheel type design or axle thing. I don't know when you'd ever use that, but so yeah. That was the only Ferrari, the only F1 set. I keep on saying Ferrari instead of F1. That's the only F1 set I was planning to buy, and I just randomly said, "Oh, green because it's bright green. I'll grab this." And that wraps up the news. So, and Matt's boat is built. And did you rescue the piece?
Basically you just stuck a piece in to hold the string so it didn't pull back through once you strung it.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to figure out which sail goes to which part, and you get like 10 different sailcloth pieces.
Oh, okay.
And
they're don't lay it out very well.
Dissimilar in shape. So I'm like flipping through the pages trying to make sure I'm like placing them on the correct page. Because I went to put a sailcloth piece in and I'm like, that doesn't quite seem to match the picture.
Do they give you maybe another page where they show you better what they look like, or
no,
or
they don't.
Like that? Because sometimes they do that. Like on the next page, you'll have a better layout of the.
My only issue is that like So like this one definitely goes here,
Yeah.
but it's gonna hang loose. Like I almost feel like there should have been one
Well,
more like Technic piece. Like this should be a little bit. This should stick out a little bit.
Is it possible that you used up all your pieces? I guess. Maybe that one doesn't fit there then.
I know it doesn't look right. So
yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Go, Matt, go.
All right, let's take that off.
Yeah, we could help. What's the set number?
It's
oh, I can just look up endurance. It's okay.
No, I've got it. 10-33-5.
Here we go. Live and on channel. Oh, I forgot to actually share the screen again. Live and on channel, we will help Matt out with his building instructions by pulling up the building instructions and watching my computer cry as it tries to download. Let's see how. Oh wait, we're running on my phone, so it's going to be quicker. Hopefully.
You know what? I think I might have put one of these Technic pins in the wrong hole, so I'm just gonna move it down one.
Okay.
Because I think it's gonna line up much better if I just move it down one pinhole. Here we go. Yeah, that works. That works. That looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's off screen what you're working on, but so is that? But that topsail there.
So here, let me change the angle of the camera.
Yeah, hold on.
So the issue is right here. This seems like it should be. This should be down one. So I'm gonna just move it down to the next Technic, and now it shouldn't hang as loose as it did when I tried before.
Because the instructions just page 1 of the instructions just came out. Ooh, I'm now at 32 megs a second.
Let's see. It still feels like I should be I'm missing one more brown connector piece. And I may have dropped one earlier, so that might actually be what's going on.
Oh, that there should be another like too long piece.
This should be there should be one more Technic piece, I think, here.
And my page is still loading here because what page number are you on?
I'm on step 669.
Yeah, that does help me. Does it say what page it is in the bottom?
It is page 405.
405.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go grab one out of my bin over here.
Go, Matt, go. Apparently it's still loading. It takes a while. Their pages do. What's wrong scrolling? Zoom in. Apparently downloading instructions or pulling up a PDF instruction while you're streaming live, it takes some time. I've been debating whether or not I need a better laptop. Because this thing's just an i5 processor, so it's, I think 7 or 9 are the higher ones.
The Windows 95?
No, it's up to date. I bought it I bought it the year I went. So I've had it since 2020, the beginning, Brick Fair, Alabama, was that 22?
Yeah,
it was 2022, I think. Because that's when I bought it before I went there. But I only paid like $700 for this piece, so.
You cheaped out, didn't you?
I did. Well, I went for just something. The reason why I did it was because I was going to just bring my work computer, because we've always brought our work computers with us into the States type stuff when we were crossing the borders.
Yeah.
Just because then we could just use our work computer to look stuff up. And they had made a policy change that said, yeah, you should never have brought your work computer with you type thing. So I needed to stream and stuff, or I wanted to stream. So this
fits so much better now.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to you because I'm just going to cancel this load. Let's go back to Matt here. It's Matt. Oh yeah.
That hangs a lot better. It's not bunched up. It looks.
I agree.
The proportions seem correct.
That's what I was going to say to you. I was trying to pull up the instructions to see if there was 2 or 3 in between those two pins, but for the record, the more Matt does here, the less we'll see of him. So,
what?
Well, because you're slowly covering yourself up with sails.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
But yeah, I was actually looking at that sale pack to maybe use on my windmill.
Okay.
Like if I could find like, and I'm assuming it'll come as one like you on in bricks and pieces if it becomes available. It'd be like a $17 or $20 kit that would give you
Yes.
all the sales.
So all the sales come in this one bag.
Yeah, so I'd assume that's how they're going to package it. So I might not end up doing that, but I thought that I'd rather use Lego fabric
Yes.
to do sales on my windmill because that's the one thing the windmill is missing. But
So the one
obviously,
thing
Mhm.
the one thing I would say about this is that if you're going to use them for windmill sales,
Yeah,
only two of there's a pair that's the same shape and another
yeah,
pair that's the same shape. So
yeah. I might have to buy two of the kits or figure it out.
you might have to like recut it potentially.
Yeah, which I wouldn't want to do either. But anyway, I don't know. I was thinking because a lot of Legos sales and cloth pieces are all decorated. Like they've
Yes.
got printing on them and stuff. And this is, I think, one of the first ones that doesn't actually or isn't actually printed. So
Yeah,
um,
the sailcloth that came with the earlier Viking ship was pretty awesome. Like I like the artwork that was printed on it, but if you want to use it for uh, a windmill, you don't really want Viking symbols on it.
yeah, exactly. I agree wholeheartedly.
I think I figured out what happened because this other sail that I just attached, the
Yeah.
spinnaker was too long. So I think I just
Oh,
put one extra
too
few
many.
here and then
Yeah.
one too few over here. And I actually had the correct number of parts. I just put it in the wrong spot. So
Gotcha. Okay.
user error.
Yeah, that happens. Well, you were distracted.
I know. I'm trying to multitask.
And curiously, was that the flag in that bag as well?
Yes, the Union Jack came in
The
same.
Union Jack? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, just looking at the actual cloth pieces here to see. Like this 23 by 10, that's probably way too big.
I mean, if you're willing to, you could cut it.
Yeah, I was thinking this style, the 24 by 7 triangle, but that's pretty big. What else? You said there's and then this one also. I think that the triangle here, this last one would probably be the best one. But I'd have to rework the entire windmill sails and stuff too. So maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
I know that Meredith ordered custom purple lavender sails for her flying narwhal.
Yeah.
That might be an option for you if you wish to go that.
And technically, because these are listed as individual elements on Bricklink, if someone were to buy them or part of the set, I might be able to get, quantity.
Yes.
Like there are 43 of this particular sail for sale, and someone has 4 of them for $6.98 a piece. Wow, that's the cheapest price.
But the set also just came out, so.
Well, yeah, and yeah.
You give it some time, it might get cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously it would get cheaper, and as soon as they become available on Bricks and Pieces, that'll drop the price down as well. So
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, but it's looking pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, we'll go back to regular view here. Yeah,
hard to get in camera. There we go.
Yeah, I have to say that's one of the nicer ships. Like when I saw that one, I'm like, okay, I could see that being a cool display model. It's not as huge as the Titanic, which is good. I wonder, is it to scale?
I mean,
probably not to scale with the Titanic.
I'm sure it's to some scale, but the Titanic, it's way too big compared to the Titanic. It's not on the same level as Titanic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess so. I'm looking at the portholes on the boat and stuff too.
This is probably almost minifig scale. So, for example, I'm going to pull this off. So here are the life rafts.
Yeah.
And a minifig would be a little bit too big, but not by a whole lot.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, ideally the life raft should hold like 2 people side by side, I would think.
Correct. And the life rafts that come on the Titanic are like a hint of a life raft.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way a minifig would fit in those things.
Fair enough. But fair enough, sir.
All right. So, last big piece. Here we go. pop it on.
We're anxiously watching Matt paint his sails. Wait, is that underneath the rope, or should it go over the rope, or does the rope start lower?
The rope it should
It
go.
goes under. Okay.
Because they had us put it on in this sequence. I'm assuming.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Cool. So, and where is that going to go, sir?
That's a really good question. It might go to my work office, actually.
Yeah, that could make sense.
But it's been fun. I've enjoyed building it, and I think one of the reasons that I've enjoyed it is it's not the usual kind of set. So I've built a ton of Star Wars sets over the years, and so it is something that's different, and I've enjoyed doing something that isn't quite like a bunch of other sets that I built. So
yeah. And I think building like boat hulls, like just those shapes are just something we never really think about how to do. And obviously they've had to think about that. So it's a bit of a challenge for them. So,
I mean, if you're like our old gray bricks friend, Captain Xavier, and you build boats all the time, it's probably,
well, yeah, exactly. But I mean,
but for the rest of us,
yeah.
And actually one of the old Lego sets that I was trying to re-brick at one time was the Imperial flagship.
Mm-hmm.
Which was that big set that came out with guns and such.
Yep.
And I kind of lost interest in rebricking it, so I never quite actually got around to getting all the parts to build it. But now that this comes out, I'm definitely not going to probably bother with the Imperial.
No. For sure. Yeah. So I mean, I wonder how this one is sold. Like, are there enough people that are interested in the Endurance to get good sales for it?
And it also comes with a plaque.
A 6x6 printed plaque. Cool.
Which I'm just about to put on this piece.
So you haven't finished.
Attaches to the base. So.
Cool. So.
I recommend it. I give it 2 thumbs up if you're on the fence.
If you're on the fence, cool. And assuming you have the place to display it, or you wanted the parts look interesting to you, that you can use the parts for other things. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have the place to build it, to display it, and that's the only reason why you'd buy it, then probably don't.
Oh, I just knocked something off. It does take up a fair amount of shelf space, though. So this is one reason it'll probably go to my office. It might set up on top of some books at my office. So.
Yeah, that lowest sail behind the first mast, the triangular sail that comes down, that's like lengthwise. No, the one that's behind it. Yeah, that one. No, okay, shake the boat a bit and you'll see the mast, shake the boat and look behind the first mast and you'll see that one sail just waggles the bottom of it. Is this supposed to attach to anything? Or?
There's no attachment point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's no attachment point here and there's no attachment point here. So these are just loose, which is kind of weird because you get like the steam vent is right here. So it either has to go on the left side or the right side.
Well, and I know on most boats, and maybe this one would just be tied down with a rope on this ship, but sometimes they have a lower arm to hold that type thing, right?
Yes.
So, but yeah, that's my extent of boat knowledge. So
pretty cool. I still have one more step. So I was looking when I stepped away, I was looking for a bag, but there's a rigging piece that goes here and here, and it's with those like light tan, kind of like horse reins kind of piece.
Okay.
And I saw the bag. I thought I brought the bag upstairs, but I'm not sure where I put it. So it's either downstairs. I'll look after the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can always end the stream anyhow because I mean, we're pretty much
after the show. I'll find it. I just saw it in the last hour, so it's somewhere around here. I may have dropped it or something, but it's here somewhere.
Yeah, I hear you. So, anyways, maybe we'll call it a night. We will see everybody next week for episode 208. Who knows what we'll be talking about, but there'll probably be some news of some sorts. So, thank you everybody for coming out. We will talk to you next week and have a great week. And I'll hit the button. See ya.